Hello, assembler students. This will be the first short video in a lesson about how subroutines work in x86 assembler, and that's actually how they work in C and many other high-level languages also. And we'll start in this video just by making sure we understand the basic instructions and the idea of the stack, how the push, pop, etc. instructions work. So what I have here is a representation in a text editor of memory, and we're imagining that this is up near high memory, and ESP is the stack pointer register. We're going to be saving 4 bytes, one D word at a time on the stack. And I have this little caret here to show that the stack pointer is actually pointing right off the top of memory, which turns out to be okay, because we're not going to put anything all the way past the top of memory. And the idea is that when we push things onto the stack pointer is going to go down into memory. So normally we think of stacking things up, but here we're going to stack down, sort of like stalactites from the ceiling. So let's take a look at what a push instruction does. So we're going to imagine that we're putting some number 31dog6 in EAX. Okay, and now I'm going to push it. So what does push do? The first things it does is it subtracts 4 from ESP. So ESP is now going to become 7 Foxtrot Fox Charlie. And the stack pointer is going to move down to here. So the stack pointer is pointing at 7 Fox Charlie, which is the first byte of a 4-byte D word, because we subtracted 4. So this is really going to be 4 bytes, 7 Fox Charlie 2, okay? Charlie through 7 Fox, okay? So that's 4 bytes there. And then what it does is it moves EAX. First we subtracted 4 from ESP, and then we effectively did this. We put EAX into the memory address that ESP pointed at. So we put 31dog6 here, which was going to be, so that should be the memory address. We'll call this the contents. Okay? So we put 31dog6 right there. So, and now ESP is pointing here at the top of the stack. If we were to push another item onto the stack, okay, like suppose we pushed EAX again, okay, we could do that. Like that, right? If we did that again, we would subtract another 4 bytes. It would become 7 Fox 8. Here would be the stack pointer now, and EAX would, whatever the other, suppose we were, instead of EAX, we were now pushing, EDX. Like that, okay? Now this would be okay. What EDX had would be there, okay? Like that. Okay? So that's what the pushing is going to do. And popping is the reverse. Normally we'd pop in reverse order. And that would be like that, right? So first we move, then we add. In the pushing, first we subtract, then we move. So popping EDX is going to put the former contents of EDX at the point of the push. It's going to move that back into EDX, and ESP is going to be added to. Okay. And then we're going to be back here. Okay, so this memory address here, this isn't empty. It still contains that former value, but we don't care. That's like empty stack to us. And then finally we pop EAX. And after we get done popping EAX, we're back here at 7. Okay, 7 Fox Charlie. This guy is now 8,000. And EAX got its bytes back. Okay, and we're done. So that's the basic push and pop. All right, now we get to the call. So subroutine call. And subroutine call, it turns out, is actually going to do a push. So this subroutine, we're going to imagine we're in a calling program here. And right now we're going to imagine these are the addresses of the bytes of the calling program, the actual instructions. We're going to imagine these are the addresses in memory. So, and here we are in the middle of our main program, and we call. So what this is going to do is push of next instruction, and then jump to func. So here we are about to call. So I shouldn't have scrolled up over here. Here we are about to call. So then we call, push the address of the next instruction, that's 1205, right? So pushing that means ESP goes to what? 7FFC again. And over here we're going to have, okay, the return address, 0000, 1205, 4 bytes, okay, return address. So now, there we are. So now the return address, that's going to be the address that the subroutine needs to get back to. So here we did our call, okay, and then when the subroutine returns, it wants to come back to right there, 1205. So over in the function, what do? Well, typically in the function we start to save registers. So, and for reasons we'll see later, EBP is the first instruction register that we save. So that's going to become 7 Fox 8 again. Okay, this will go down to here, right? And then this will be saved EBP. Okay, and then in the subroutine we do various things. Okay, we can call other subroutines. If we call other subroutines, what happens? Okay, it goes down here on the stack, right? So calling another subroutine is going to put the other subroutine call stuff on the stack, okay, beneath, actually higher on the stack, lower in memory. All right, going to stack up the next call. And then eventually we get done, and we're going to restore EBP. So that'll go back to here, and that'll be 7 Fox Charlie again. And that's gone. And then we return. And what the return does is, okay, all right, it's going to be, basically it's going to be move EIP, the instruction pointer, with, and then Okay, so it's going to take the data from where the stack pointer is and put it into the instruction pointer. All right, and then we're going to add 4 to ESP. So this is going to be a jump. And this is a little bit confusing because the jump here, okay, we're going to add 4 to ESP even though it looks like the jump happens first, right? All right, so think about it as simultaneously, because it is simultaneously, okay, we grab that address and add 4 to ESP, and then we jump. Okay, all right. So that return means that this goes out, okay, and that's going to be 8,000 again. And our stack is going to be, and that was 1025, and we're going to be, basically, we're going to be right back here executing over here. So the call is going to push the return address and start executing down here, where we execute. The return is going to pop the return address off the stack, and we're going to be over there. And then we'll imagine that EAX had our result. So that is how the stack works with respect to subroutine calls. And in the next video, we'll take a quick look at the conventions for passing parameters and see what that really looks like. So thank you.